Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Tonight I'm going to be reviewing, from Lidl's today actually, Corte Aurelio Nero Davola Sicillia 2017. So obviously a red wine, which is a Nero Davola. This today was on Lidl's Super Weekend deal, so £3.49 a bottle, and you can't fault it for that price, can you? And as most people do when they see a bargain, you've got to have it. If the wife don't moan too much, that is. So Nero Davola is going to be an Italian wine with that sort of name, from the Sicilia region of Italy. Let's give it a pour. Lovely dark red pour. Oh. Just give it a minute to breathe. I've got something brewing in the background, and the aromas coming from it are filling the kitchen, and it's not the most nicest aromas, to be fair. Obviously the carbon dioxide or whatever it is that comes out of it coming out, and not the nicest. So on the nose, not a lot, but that's might be because I'm still haven't 100% got over this cold I've had. Oh, nice fruitiness on the taste. So, from Vivino, which is the only wine site I can get that actually does any reviews, 3.2 out of 5 from 567 ratings. So here we go. Budget Italian from Lidl. Worth a go if you're saving the pennies. It's agreeable, passable, and worth having for guests if you're not too bothered about. Appearance clear, medium ruby colour. On the nose, clean, medium intense aromas. Red berry, cherry, plum, raspberry, blueberry. On the palate, bloody hell, they got all that off the nose. I couldn't smell anything. On the palate, off dry, medium acidity, medium tannins, medium bodied wine. In flavour, red berry, cherry, plum, raspberry, blueberry. Medium finish with red fruit aftertaste. Don't know what that means. It might be fruit aftertaste. A good cheap table wine, easy to understand, easy to drink, good with pasta, or just drink alone. Another one, can't argue at that price. So yeah, £3.50. That's on their Super Weekend deal. God knows what the price is originally. I presume something like £4 or £4.50. Nothing too expensive. Yeah, there's berries on the nose. Still, I'm a bit. Nose isn't right at the moment. Oh, yeah, lovely. Got a lovely taste to it, Sometimes the wine connoisseurs out there, or snobs, for want of a better word, they'll slag off wines and, oh, this wine's not good, it doesn't taste of this. But I've paid for a £27 bottle of wine before. Although I didn't pay full price myself, but it was a £27 bottle of wine. And it tasted no better than a lot of the £5 bottles of wine that I've had. So it's not always about, the more you pay, the better the quality. No. I like Barolo, which is an Italian wine. And the Barolo you get from Aldi and Lidl is comparable, if not better, than the Barolo from the likes of Sainsbury's and other supermarkets. And there's a difference of anything from £10 up to 22 quid. So pinch of salt time. If it's got a nasty taste to it, it's not for you. Not all red wines will be for you. Some red wines, the flavours are too complex, they're too earthy. A lot of French wines are very earthy. My father-in-law, he gave me some a French red wine once. Drank it, and oh my god, I thought it was as earthy as they come. I could actually taste soil, but that's the impression I got when I was drinking it. But to some people, that's what they want. To others, the red wines with only a light taste of red in it, of them dark fruits, is what they want. So don't be put off by people's reviews saying it's not, it's just good enough for the job, or it's just good enough for people you don't like. To me, snobbish. No need for that rubbish, and For me, it's an easy going, more of a table wine. We'll accept that. Lots of dark fruity flavours. I've already said them, so I'm not going to go over it. A little bit of bitterness in the aftertaste, just nice. It's a very pleasant wine. It's got a lovely dark ruby colour to it. Yeah, really nice. So I've got something brewing here that's bubbling like an idiot. I've got a cherry beer at the back of me that's occasional sporadic bubbling, and something on top of the fridge which is making an annoying noise, and you can do without it. Yes. So, ooh. Now, I spent 5 years working at Sainsbury's on their beers, wines and spirits department. And went on numerous wine courses, tasting courses and that. And, very good. Yeah. If you can afford to go on these things, I mean, I got it for free. But if you can afford to go on wine tasting courses, they're great, because the understanding it gives you, and, you realise there's a lot more than just buying the most expensive wine because it says it's good. There are obviously wines that, they are cheap and a bit cheap and nasty, but on the whole, most wines are fairly decent. There's a few brands that I keep away from. 3 Mils is one of them. They are a bit weak. Some of the £3 wines at the likes of Lidl and Aldi, the really cheap wines, some of them are, definitely, for trial purposes only, I would suggest. But most wines, they're all pretty decent. Now, you take a certain brand. I love Campo Viejo, and you've got their Grenache, you've got their Tempranillo, you've got the Rioja Reserva, and you've got the Gran Reserva. The Gran Reserva is the top of the list. That's normally £16 a bottle, and I normally try and get it when it's on offer at 12, and I'll try and get it on a buy 6 get 25% off deal. And then my son's discount as well brings it down nicely to about 7 or 8 quid, which is much more reasonable. Oh. What I will say is, if you think a homebrew wine can't be as earthy as these sort of wines, you're mistaken. I've brewed many wines from kits, and they are equally as good as thing as from a bottle, equally as good. Some people say, oh no, it's home brew, rubbish, and they're talking out the backside, you know. Some of the more expensive kits, some of the cheaper kits, maybe, yeah, but the more expensive kits, and it depends. You can get a cheap kit. To be fair, you can get a cheap kit, get some oak chip-ins, put them in the kit when it's fermenting, so the oakiness goes into that kit, and you can turn a cheap kit into something that tastes a hell of a lot more interesting, shall we say, you know. And that can be done with any of the reds, you know. Add these chip-ins, you know, you can add stuff, you know. It's all about balancing and, you know, adding stuff to the wines and that. You know, I'm already at 10 minutes, Jesus mate. So, this one, a bit faint on the nose. Lovely, easy, a very easy to drink red. Not too complex. Middle of the road, I'd say, you know, someone's classed it as medium bodied, I'd go along with that. Middle of the road, very easy to drink, you know. You're not going to offend too many of your guests. Because let's be fair, some people do not like the complex wines. So, you know, the more complex, they might not be able to drink it. You know, because it might be too much for their palate to take. And that's why a lot of people drink Blossom and Echo Falls, because a lot of their wines are very easy to drink. There's a reason why the easy to drink ones sell so well, because the vast majority of the public like red wines, or like the idea, but do not want to go too far into the fine wine end of the red wine category. So, with that in mind, yeah, not a bad red wine. I'm going to give it a 4.3 out of 5. And for the price, £3.49, just can't fault it, you know. It's well worth buying it for that price. I don't know what the original price is, but I'm happy, and I should drink the rest tonight at some stage, if I don't fall asleep beforehand. Thank you very much. See you soon.